Hello everyone, welcome back to the Beautiful Black Witch channel. My name is Aericka and I read stars, tarot cards, and other intuitive messages. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Saturn moving into Pisces because that is a pretty significant transit happening for us. And I just wanted to touch a couple of things just as like a heads up on upcoming energy or just things that can happen when Saturn moves into Pisces. So this is taking place on March 7th of 2023. So mark your calendars. That is like in a couple weeks, and it's going to be in Pisces until February of 2026. So it's going to be there for a while, and Saturn typically takes this long to travel through each sign. It takes about 2 to 3 years. So it gets nice and comfy in each sign to give everybody a chance, you know. Saturn is known as the Great Malefic because it brings challenges and burdens and hardships to teach us, you know, lessons. And everybody has a Saturn placement in their chart. For those who have Saturn in Pisces, those who are born around the early 90s, like I think, was it 93 to 96 or something like that? I am a part of that generation, so Saturn in Pisces is my placement, and we're all going to be experiencing our first Saturn return. So everybody that's around the age of 28 to 29 right now, I believe have their Saturn in Pisces. So buckle up, guys, or you've already been experiencing some stuff. But yeah, so Saturn is here to teach us things, to teach us the really hard lessons in life, to bring us discipline, structure, and that's even within our society at large. You know, the things like laws and rules, that's a part of a structure. Societal norms is a part of like the structure of our society. Saturn also brings delays. It controls time, which time can be delayed in certain ways. If you experience those types of things in your life, that's Saturn trying to teach you a lesson. Saturn also rules over karma, your deepest fears. It brings responsibility because, as I was mentioning earlier, people who are around my age of 28, 29, maybe 30 are experiencing or about to be experiencing their Saturn return. So that is going to bring a level of responsibility for us because we're maturing in life, and Saturn is here to mature us, you know. That's why it's so hard and known as the Great Malefic, because it's here to teach us, like I said, the really rough things in life, the difficult things, the life lessons that really mature us and change us and potentially make us a better person, I hope. This sound on TikTok really makes me think about Saturn.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
Well, excuse me.
Peg me one day.
That's Saturn. Saturn is the grandpa that's saying it's too damn bad, you know, because we all have to eventually go through something that Saturn is bringing us. We have to go through those hardships. We have to go through certain or follow certain rules and laws. Like, there's just things that we have to do. We have to take responsibility, authority over our lives and the people around us. You know, there's just so like we have to mature eventually. So for the past 6 years, Saturn has been very nice and comfortable, thriving, restricting, just living its best life in Capricorn and Aquarius because Saturn rules over those signs. So while Saturn was in Capricorn a couple years back, a lot of laws were created and things were being restricted from us. And then Saturn moved into Aquarius, where it literally restricted us from seeing each other. We all had to distance ourselves, and Aquarius is a very detached energy. So that really showed a lot during the Saturn and Aquarius transit. We even see it like with technology and how we communicate. So many things is being restricted online and flagged, and it's just crazy how sensitive social media people have like cranked down on certain things being shared, which is a good thing, because with so much Aquarius energy happening, you know, there was also this freedom of sharing everything because everybody was at home and that was our way of connecting. So many things was being shared, and not everything should be shared on the internet. So that's something I've also noticed. So now that it's moving into the fluid sign of Pisces, it's gonna clash a little, because Pisces is not about following the rules and structure and time management. Pisces just want to do its own thing, just want to be creative and intuitive and go with the flow. So it's like if they feel like doing something, then they will, you know, or if they feel intuitively guided to do something, then they will. Like they're very go with the flow kind of people. They're not very much a step-by-step kind of sign, you know. So I did do a Pisces season video, and I'll link it up here somewhere, and I go in deeper explanation with Pisces. I just don't want to repeat myself and make this video extra long if I don't have to. So if you do want to know more about Pisces, then head over there and check out that video, because I really go in depth over there. But here I'm just going to keep it just a quick explanation, and just point out that when Saturn goes into Pisces, there may be some difficulty with structure and, like, I guess following the rules per se, or just having boundaries in your personal life and at large. So just when there were just so many boundaries put up, there can be a new wave of something where maybe connecting too much, because Pisces love to connect, you know, want to become one with everything around it, because it's like it wants to feel what you're feeling. It's very intuitive, very emotional. Or on the flip side, it can also have people being numb into their emotions and not have feelings towards things, or their internal world. It can be either or, because it affects everybody differently. But yeah, I would say boundaries is going to be a really big thing. Emotionally, mentally. Another thing, like issues around water source, whether who gets to use it, the rules and laws over that. We can see like water disasters like flooding and storms, like the lack of the boundary between land and water. So going with the first thing I said about boundaries, the lack of them, because Saturn does mean lack, the lack of anything, the lack of structure, the lack of rules, laws, time. So we can either be gaining these things or lacking them in some way, and it can probably be a mixture of both for people or for everyone. But on the positive side, you know, we can see water being used as a major component in healing. So people can be maybe going swimming more, or just connecting with water more in some way as a source of healing and just connecting with nature. There will be a continuation of scams and fake news, because definitely with Pisces rules over media and television and movies. So there can be a heighten in that. But also the imagination or the illusions that the movies or the news or the message can bring can be, again, heightened, where it's not real or people are scamming left and right. So that's not going to go anywhere. There are probably going to be new inventions and new ways of people doing that. So please do your research. With the heighten of spirituality and stuff, there can be like cults and spiritual groups and religion. So really do your research. Really listen to your intuition. We don't want to get mixed up in the wrong stuff, because not everybody have good intentions. Even, we see it all the time. People hide behind spirituality and religion and be having the most not pleasant intention for people. So if you do find yourself, going on that journey, because you will, as everybody should, and whatever you get into, man, just make sure you do your research. Just do what feels right for you. Be careful with commitments, because people will be scamming, and it's going to be hard to tell what's real and what's not with all the Piscean illusion and fantasy. And just, so take your time, because Saturn controls time, and find out what works best for you, okay, away from what other people are doing, because Pisces, you're gonna want to connect with others, but please be cautious, please be aware. But for those of you who are already in tune with like the mature sides of Pisces, Saturn will just add discipline to your spiritual routines or practices. You can be getting more grounded into, meditation, yoga, healing, therapy, just creativity as a whole. And, for those who struggle with, meditating or healing or anything in that spiritual side of Pisces, or just the inner world, then this is going to be a time where you're going to be asked a lot. It's going to be pushed really hard in your face, because that's Saturn. They're going to push it. He's a pusher. It's going to be really shown in your life somehow that, spirituality, or getting back into religion, or just getting back in tune with yourself, therapy, healing is really going to be on the forefront. Those are just a couple of things that I wanted to touch on. There's so many other astrologers out there that gets really deep into it, and they touch on different aspects that Saturn's going to be facing while it's going through Pisces. But I just wanted to keep it a little quick over here, and just give you like a couple pointers or things that I thought would be important to touch on. So in summary, we may not understand why we go through the hardships in life, but it is for a reason. It's to teach us something. It's a lesson that's trying to be taught. And if you look closely and listen closely, you're going to learn the lesson, and you won't have to go through it again. It's all about learning. Just like school, once you pass a class, you don't have to retake it. You level up, and that's all Saturn wants us to do, is level up. But we have to learn the right way. We have to go each step, one step at a time. Yeah, and without these tests, we won't be able to mature. So just keep that in mind when Saturn is doing its thing in your life, just bringing in those hardships, bringing up your fears, when karma is hidden, because nobody's safe from any of these things. We all have it. So when all those things is hitting us, we gotta remember, myself included, I'm serious, myself included, because I'm an Aquarius rising, and Saturn basically rules my chart, and it sits nice and pretty in my chart. So I'm very familiar with Saturn. We're besties, So I've been through a lot of dark days, and this is something I really had to learn, is that it's just trying to teach us something, and once we learn it, we won't have to go through it again. And that's a promise on Saturn, because we'll be stronger, we'll be knowledgeable. It's like how we get wisdom. We don't gain wisdom if we don't go through anything. Saturn's moving right on to Pisces. We're about to get real deep, guys. So, to close out this video, I wanted to pull an oracle. I didn't want to do a whole reading. Just pull an oracle just to see what Saturn has to say, because he's right to the point. So I'll take that one. Ooh, create your own happiness. And that's what it looks like. It's so pretty. And I think it goes really well with the Pisces energy. Let's see what the book has to say, because Pisces is all about creativity. So we shall be creating our own happiness, doing what's right for us, that intuition, following that, going with that. Like the moon always represents intuition. We just have to follow that. And it's going to lead us to our own happiness. Not what society wants for us. It's what we want for us. So, create your own happiness. Happiness is a choice, and it's up to you to create it. Just as the moon phases from dark to full, so do our emotions. Emotions are energy in motion, and each one represents a different expression of our inner self. Anger arises when something is unfair. We invoke happiness when something delights us, and sadness engulfs us when we experience loss or pain. Although we can't control our external circumstances, we can control our attitude and how we respond to any given moment. You don't need life to be perfect to create your own happiness. You define your happiness. Don't let anyone rain on your parade. Money can buy you temporary pleasure, but not everlasting joy. Focus less on what you're lacking and more on what you do have. You can start by enjoying the simple things in life, like belly laughing with friends, cuddling with animals, or playing in nature. Spend time each day doing something you love. And I think that is a really good wrap up, because I honestly needed that. I was having a tough day today, and I'm going to be taking that into my Saturn in Pisces, aka my Saturn return. Because yes, we do create our own happiness. We do. So with that being said, I hope this video helped inspire you or get you prepared for this big transit coming up. A witch is nothing without her coven, so please make sure you subscribe, turn on the little bell if you're interested so you're notified when I upload. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.